Right, we return for the final little set. It's a very exciting set. We're going to go for the biggest prize that you could get in League Racing. It's the OCC, the Overall Constructors Championship. It's where you add every single point the entire team, all four lineups, have got over the season length. Which team is the most successful? We're going to go from bottom to top, 10th to 1st. We're not missing a single team. We're going to start in 10th. Do you want to start it? Go on.
I hate to do it. I hate to say it.
Someone's got to come last.
Someone's got to come last.
Yeah.
I unfortunately feel it might be Aston.
Ooh.
They haven't been overly exciting me in the transfer market. I think Kine is a very eager team principal. I think he's got a lot to learn, a lot to develop. I think he's going to be. I think he's a steady improver. I think this time at the end of the season he'll have gained a lot more experience and a lot more knowledge and insight to push further up. But with the state of Aston Martin currently, I just can't see them being too much of a threat. And I just feel like the other team principals have a bit of an edge on him right now.
Fair enough. 4P10. I've gone a little bit interesting. I've gone a little bit more inside on the team. I've gone for Haas. The reason I've said this is because I am the Mr. Banker. They do not have very much money. And they have got an expensive lineup on the drivers they do have. And so Benegru is going for an interesting strategy. And I can't take it away from him because he's a brand new TP. And it's exciting to see what he can do, of course. He has gone for an expensive route. I'm not filling all the seats.
Gone for the Galactico signing method. Just go for the big boys.
Yeah. And what's interesting, actually, in terms of the values, is that between Haas, Williams, and Alpine, there was 2 million in the budget splitting them. Now that instantly makes those three a challenge, and I think that instantly it's going to be three of the. That's one topic that we're going to be talking about. Which of those three teams is doing better? It's a good split as well. When Williams, we've got Stein, who's not racing, but he's got he's going to give everything to the TP role. He's got the experience as well from KRL. We've got Benegger, who's brand new to this TP scene. This is the first time he's done it before in this league. And then we've got Alpine, of course, Baldy, who is taking over from Beat Duke the admin, who obviously built a pretty solid team, very solid midfield, and he's driving as well, so he has a bit more insight to his team. We've got a good 3 split there. I think Haas will come out last of that group, but like I said, someone's going to come last. I hate to put them there.
Yeah. So who have you gone for 9 then? Who have you got for 9? Who's going to be running up on the last spot?
For running up of the last spot, and again, I hate to do it because I do like the team. I've got some couple of friends in the team. I've gone for Williams. I think that it's one of them teams, and it's the same as Haas. It just, the lineups don't stay the same throughout the season. There's not a single half contract right now that ends in half a season. Not a single one. I can guarantee you that when we get to mid-season, it won't look like that. When we get to the end of the season, it definitely won't look like that. Stuff changes, and you have to be resilient as a TP to continue pushing, just like you do, just like Banjo's going to do, just like Mill's going to do. And I'm not saying that they're going to lose their interest or lose their drive or their push, but it's upsetting to lose a driver. It gives you a lot more to do because losing a driver, that's a big thing. That's the whole main reason you're there, you know. So I think Williams, I think they're just going to come across with some issues, and I think that they will drop to 9th. But that's my thought. What about you?
See, again, I hate starting at this end of the table. I really not even starting. Sorry, I hate just being at this end of the table because it's always hard to. It's hard to look at a team and go, I don't think you're going to do well this season. But we have to. Someone has to take those spots. And I think, it's more of a testimony to how strong all the teams are this season. Is that I think the midfield fight is going to be crazy close. I feel like if we're wrong on any of these, it will be by a couple of points. It won't be. I'll be surprised if any of these are wrong by like even 100 points or so across all divisions. So, but I've gone for Alpine in that P9 spot. They haven't been. They didn't carry the momentum forward in the last season, the KRL. I don't personally see a major flagship driver in there. I don't see one solid week in, week out point scorer like Neb, like Banjo. I'll say myself, like JB, Casper. Obviously, these are mostly for our drivers I'm naming, but these are the kind of drivers I aim for. I always want these big names. Even someone like, look at Dylan, even Lackey, Christella. These kind of drivers, I don't see Alpine really having any kind of big name in there. Big name in there. Matteo is an interesting one in Division 1. But if his Wi-Fi doesn't hold out like it didn't last season, then it's going to be the same situation. So yeah, I just don't see them challenging. Not even I don't see them challenging. I don't see them edging. Sorry, some of the teams ahead of them.
Yeah. For P8, I have also gone for Alpine. I think it hurts me because I really like the team and I really rate Baldy as a TP, but I think like exactly like you said, I worry that they haven't got that. I mean, not every team needs a standout driver. Not every team needs a couple of drivers that are just going to cook day in, day out. You can have some all-rounders. My worry with Alpine is they're just going to get smothered by the midfield. I think the midfield is going to be absolutely hectic this season.
Yeah.
I think literally, from P5 down to P10, I think it's going to be so close. And you need grit to fight. Doesn't matter who you are, which TP you are, you need grit to fight through that. I am a tad worried Alpine will just kind of get swallowed.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to take away though. I think that Alpine will do well. I don't think they'll do fantastic. I put P8. What about you? You put P8.
I just to tie in what you said about Alpine, you exactly right. You don't need a team of flagship drivers, but I think you need at least one. Is the problem, and I don't see it. I've gone for then obviously in a similar reasonings to you for their position. I've gone for Haas in P8. I feel like Ben and a few of his signings will have the ability to edge out the likes of Aston and Alpine in a few races, but they're at the end of their budget already. They really haven't got much. So they're gonna have to either hope that a few of their drivers do really well and they can maybe turn a profit off of them in a transfer window, or they're going to hope that they need to rely on some good results to get some money back in. But I think that at the end of their budget, they can't really do much more. They're gonna have to hope that they get some money back before they can make any improvements. So, I slightly worry about the financial situation in the Haas, and I just feel like they're gonna. I think they're not bottom for me, but I don't think they're in the P5-6 region either. So they take the P8 spot for me.
I think it's testimony to say how close we think that the midfield and the back. I hate to say the back, but the midfield is going to be. Me and you have agreed on quite a few of these predictions, and you can see how different the OCC is going to be. I mean, the OCC is genuinely split by a good 100 points between each team, or at least 50 between each team. We've just done our first three predictions. Only a single one has been the same team, and that was from P8 and P10, which was Haas.
Yeah.
I think it really shows how close we think it's going to be. For P7, I have gone for Aston Martin. I think, like I said before, it's a slow burner. I think that Aston Martin have got some good names in there. I think Benjo's improving. I think HA and Boo Boy are going to cook. I think that Aya and Edits on their day will do quite well. I think in terms of just staying as a solid team, that will instantly push them up above maybe some of the lower teams. I think they will have a good dynamic. I think Kine is going to be a really good TP. He's been showing his commitment to the league racing and stuff. I have confidence that Aston will get a P7.
You make some compelling points there. I may be sleeping on Aston's Div 1 lineup a little bit. I think Aya and Edits, if they're not, as I said earlier, crashing into each other and getting a bit rivalry on track, I think if they do find a way to work together and they are cooperative, I feel like they could maybe be a good point source. For my P7 though, I've gone Williams. Similar reason why you put them towards the bottom end of the table. I don't see too many major names coming in there, and I believe there's. I don't know if it's fully confirmed yet. Well, it's confirmed but not announced, I believe. So I can talk about it. They are selling one of their better drivers as well to another team. I won't say which, but I know Ronan Keane is on his way out with a deal that's already done. So I just don't see LP. I mean, maybe I see Williams struggling a little bit. It'll be a shame because I like the team. I do like Stein a lot. He's a great guy. But yeah, I think they'll be occupying that P7 spot.
Yeah. 4P6, and I think these guys will do very well. The team that came 10th last season in KRL, I think they're going to break out of that bottom field. I have gone for the boys. I have gone for the Italians. I have gone for Alfa Romeo. I think people are sleeping on this team. I think they really are. I think they're seeing Alfa Romeo still as a back team. I don't think they're going to be. I think I think Dodo as a TP, I think is a really exciting prospect. I think if he hooks these drivers up, they've got some good names. They've got Alfie, they've got Zilagi, they've got Dodo himself, they've got Pink, who everyone knows Pink can cook on his day. I can't see it going wrong. I potentially think that Alfa Romeo might be knocking on the door with some of the big boys. I do. But I'm going to stick sensibly and say they're P6.
I'm actually in complete agreement with you. I've gone for the exact same place. I've gone P6 Alfa Romeo. Yeah, like I said, a couple of people are sleeping on the team. I don't think everyone is sleeping on the team. I think people are quite aware that Dodo is. I mean, Dodo's got a pull effect himself. There's something about Dodo, and we can just see his commitment, his passion, his dedication to the team and the league. Yeah, he's the kind of role. Obviously, I worked like hand beside Dodo very, very, very closely. He's at the point now in his league racing career, sim racing career, where he's ready to spread his wings as a team principal. I'm really looking forward to see what he can do now in his full first season. I think he's going to really lift the Alfa off that bottom top, and I think into the middle, directly into the middle. I think he's going to be potentially challenging the teams in front as well. But yeah, I think he's a P6, and I think it's a P6 with very little threat behind, to be honest. I think without the Alfa Romeo situation, it's going to be a matter of how high they can get up, not who's going to catch them. You know what I mean? I think the biggest question over them going to be the season is how much can they make out of this season, not how much are they doing, how well they're doing. I think it's going to be we're going to be looking more at the opportunities they missed than the opportunities they're gaining, because I think they're going to be in that midfield no matter what.
Yeah, I think so too. This one kind of stings. This one's a little bit of a sad one. I think that it's hard to put these guys P5, but I think they're going to be there. P5, I've gone for Ferrari. No, I'm kidding. P5. I've gone.
Had a heart attack.
P5.
I've got a cardiac arrest over here. Give me a second. Read through this.
I don't think Ferrari will finish in P5. The team I do think will finish in P5 is Mercedes. I think that it's an interesting
Tanner, you
one
listening?
because
Tanner, you listening? This is what people are saying about you.
This
is what people are saying about you, Tanner. This is Tanner.
I can hear
wake up, bro.
in my ear going, "This is happening." I can hear Matt in my ear. Mercedes.
Tanner, it's time to wake up. Tanner, it's time to wake up, bro.
Mercedes and Tauri had the closest overall constructors fight
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people have ever seen. I mean, it went down to the last weekend, the last round. Every single... I think I cost them it. With the penalties that I gave out in Tier 3, I think I might have cost them it. It was close.
You did.
It was incredibly close.
You did.
I have the power, that's what it is. I think that it's got very close. We saw the comeback that Tauri made. Most of all, but I think more that we saw was the drop-off that Mercedes made. They were genuinely fighting for OCC winner. They were fighting for Ferrari, the big dogs. They were fighting with McLaren, the big dogs. They dropped 200 points behind McLaren by the end of the season. And they had a really strong first season. They had a rotter second.
Yeah, I think Mercedes and KRL were the only team to take the top spot at any point in the season other than Ferrari. I think it was 3 weekends. Mercedes they went in at the mid-season break in P1. Like Ferrari led the first quarter, Mercedes led the second quarter, and then Ferrari led the second half. But Mercedes were the only team to dethrone Ferrari at any point from the top spot, and they did drop off. You are right there. And yeah, no, the fight between them and Tauri last season was very close. And Jace is a fantastic team principal. He really is. He's been very exciting. But unfortunately, despite how good I think Jace is, I think I put Tauri as my P5. I have put Tauri as my P5. And yeah, Mercedes are the one above them. I've gone for what I'm presuming is the other way around from yourselves. I think I know Tano very well. I might be slightly biased by the fact that I know Tano quite well, especially compared to Jace. I just think I know what Tano can do when he's got a full season of full commitment, full dedication. And like I said, that it wasn't for that mid-season transfer window where I changed a lot of things in my team, and he lost a few drivers and didn't really bring replacements back in. I've seen some of the transfers he's doing. There is some cooking going on, definitely. I think Tauri will be plagued by a little bit of inconsistencies in a few places. I think they're going to win races. I think they're going to get a lot of podiums, but I don't think they're going to be there consistently enough to get outside the top, directly into the top half. I would say into the top 4.
Yeah. Yeah, I've gone for the alternate way. I've gone Tauri P4. I think that regardless of which perspective you look at it, I think it's going to be close nonetheless. At the current time, it's currently 4 days away from the first race in Tier 4. AlphaTauri have sorted out that lineup. They are ahead of Mercedes in terms of planning.
Good point.
I can't fault Tano as a driver because he did dethrone Ferrari, like you said, but I can fault potentially his consistency with it, his commitment. If he keeps that on top, I don't see why he can't beat Tauri, but I haven't seen that. I'm excited to see what Jace can do with the team. He's got Matt under his wing, not only as his teammate on track, but also his teammate in AlphaTauri, who's very experienced in that team. He's been there for an extremely long time.
True.
And I think they've got a really strong lineup behind them. I think they've got a name in every tier pretty much, and I think that I think they're going to do very well. I think they could potentially challenge in some tiers the three big boys, which obviously we've agreed on. We've got the 3 teams left that are the same. But I think a P4 for Tauri would be a really good accomplishment. I think they'll be happy with that.
Yeah.
For P3, this is where it gets very interesting because I have a feeling we've gone for the same first one.
This is the spicy bit.
Everyone, lean forward, everyone. I want to see everyone lean forward in the audience.
I'll lean forward.
Because
I'll come close.
Because we've definitely gone for the first P. We've definitely gone for the same P1. What we have, I don't think we've done, is gone for the same P2 and P3. So this is where it gets a bit spicy. P3, I've gone for Red Bull. P2, I've gone for McLaren. I don't think you've done that. What have you done, Mr. Raven?
What have I done? I'll be honest with you. I've gone McLaren in P3. I think Banjo's cooking. I think Banjo's cooking very strong. He's come out the gates in this transfer window with some big signings.
Yes.
It's interesting that I remember start of season 4 in KRL. Banjo was not struggling, but maybe slightly rushing and a bit haphazard in the transfer window. He's quite clearly learned his mistake from the errors he made in the season 3 KRL transfer window, where none of his transfers are misinformed, short-sighted, rushed, bad decisions. There's a lot of goodness going on in that team right now. They're on a revival like no other. He's retaken that TP spot in Red Bull. I think McLaren are gonna be fighting for P2, and I think they're not gonna get it this season. I think they're gonna. I feel like a few of their signings. Fetch is a very good signing. I personally think he will have a better season in the other place he had an offer. But we will not talk about that too much because I will just get annoyed. But no, I feel like the McLaren have a very strong lineup. Mill's a very good team principal. He's very determined, very motivated. He's going to push and inspire the team a lot. But so's Banjo. And
I completely agree. Yeah.
And Banjo's done it before. Is the other thing for me. Banjo's done it before.
Yeah.
He like season 2 KRL was the Red Bull train. It was all about Red Bull in that season. They pulled away from everyone in the overall constructors. They won over 75% of the division or the tiers in the end. It was pretty much a clean sweep from Red Bull. And I remember Banjo walking around like a pigeon for a while after that with his chest out. He was he was really proud of himself, and he should have been. He had a really good season. I think he's coming in with momentum, with new lessons, with more experience. He's seen firsthand as an assistant TP in Ferrari what it takes to win two more constructors, two more overall constructors, one with and without the budgets. He's seen how I navigate the transfer window, and I think I said part of one of my aspects that I feel like is one of my strong suits is my work in the transfer window. And I think Bandos would have learned a lot from me, as well as his own skills and abilities and experiences that he had in Red Bull. I think he's back, and he's back dangerously. I'm more worried about him now than I ever have been before.
I've obviously gone the alternate way. I've gone Red Bull, McLaren, and then Ferrari P1. I think in terms of Red Bull, I have to hold my hands up and say props to Red Bull. Props to Remote Banjo. He is absolutely cooked. Red Bull last season was midfield. It was very solidly midfield, very solidly behind Tauri, very solidly behind Mercedes. I think they've jumped everyone's predictions. I think everyone is saying, okay, Red Bull, they're going to be a problem this season. It's very interesting to say that they have brought back that domination of a season 2 in KRL. They've brought back a lot of the lineup. They've brought back Remote Banjo and Neb in Tier 1. They've brought back Tavish, who's a monster on his day. They've brought back Wolney, who's now on a wheel.
Wolney in
there. Who obviously won the Drivers' Championship in that season. They've brought Dylan, who obviously was a long-standing member in the rival team in Tauri. It's a very nostalgic team, I will say. And it's not a team that should really be thought second of. You look at it and you think this is a good lineup. On the other hand, McLaren, I think that Millard is one of the most determined people I've ever seen. And when I stepped down as McLaren TP, we finished P2 in the OCC last season. So, and in fact, actually the season before as well in KRL. So McLaren obviously have that P2 to kind of defend and to push up for maybe P1. Well, in my predictions, I don't think they will do, but I think the Mill. I trusted him with my lineup, I trusted him with my team, and I think he's done very well. I think Tier 1, Lewis and Atesh will be very strong. I think they've got strong drivers in every tier as well. Of course, we've got Nick, we've got Fetch on a wheel as well. We've got a lovely mix. I think that it will be very close between the top 3. I think it will be very, very close between the top 2, like the 2 and 3. I think the McLaren will edge it. I think that Ferrari will win it, and I don't. I'm trying to be unbiased because we're both obviously Ferrari drivers, but Ferrari have got a very strong lineup in all divisions. You're getting way too close to the camera. I don't like this.
I have a controversial take.
You don't. As long as it's not okay. Well, I'll say Ferrari first. Oh yeah, I think Ferrari have got a very strong lineup in every division. I think they've got a title. I think they've got at least one title fighter in every division, if not 2, which is an incredible position to be in for whatever team, even if you're at the front. To go into a season, you as a TP, and be thinking, okay, we can actually win every trophy up for grabs here, is an incredible position to be in. And there's not another team on the grid that can be like that right now. I think that they will edge out Red Bull and McLaren. I think they'll win it. But what is your hot take?
I have a controversial thing. I'll get closer. I'll get comfortable. I have a controversial.
I don't like this.
My controversial opinion is that I don't think Millard's been pushed yet.
Pushed yet? I
don't think he's been pushed at all. Yes, he did well taking up the McLaren realm, the McLaren reigns at the end of last season in KRL, but by that point, Mercedes had dropped off. They weren't really Mercedes were more worried about AlphaTauri behind. McLaren had no one to fight. They had to just turn up and they would have got that P2. I haven't seen Mill. Because the termination's great, but it'll only get you so far. I haven't seen Mill in a pressure cooker. I haven't seen him in a situation where it's out of his own hands in terms of what's happening on track, and he's got Red Bull causing problems and getting drivers reported in stewards reports and keeping his head cool in that and navigating that kind of stuff, and rivalries building out. You best believe Banjo's going to be poking at Millard all through the season, trying to take these top spots. Tano's going to be poking. You saw how much Tano poked at yourself. And until the mid-season transfer window came in, he then fell off. At which point Mill came in. I haven't seen Mill. I haven't seen Mill lead the ship through a storm yet. Whereas I saw it with Mercedes. I've seen Banjo do it. I've seen myself do it. I haven't seen Mill do any sort of, I kind of think that his second place in the overall was more your doing than anyone else's in KRL. And I just don't know. For me, Millard's more of an unproven one. I kind of feel like that anything other than second place last season at the end would have been abysmal. I think anything less, if they'd fallen below Mercedes somehow, or God forbid AlphaTauri at the end of that last season in KRL, Miller wouldn't be in the job. It was like he getting second last season from the team he inherited and the position that they were in is a base standard. He had to do that. There was no excuse not to do that. So while yes he did do it, he didn't really have another option. There wasn't really an excuse for not doing it. So having in my mind, and 16 races is a lot of races. I think Banjo is going to just mould his team over 16 races better than Millard is. I don't think I've seen Millard in a pressure situation where he's looking at Red Bull overtaking maybe pull a bit of a gap, and now he's got a gap to make up and then overtake and then pull his own gap. I haven't seen that. He kind of just carried dual torch across the line last season, and that's no disrespect to Millard at all. That's like I have a lot of respect for Millard. He's very exciting in there. There's a reason why he's still P3 in my overall. You know what I mean? But in terms of in that pressure cooker, I know Banjo can do it. I don't know if Mill can.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really close. I think we've got a very, very stacked lineup here, and I think there's gonna be battles all across the OCC.
And
but
yes, I have put Ferrari as number one.
Yeah.
Have to back my boys. Have to support them. We've done it the last 2 seasons in KRL, back to back. First team principal to do back to back. First team principal to win both of them. I'm doing it again. I'm coming again. Best believe. Best believe. This doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This is the experience, and we're all coming in with the same. We're all coming in with the same set of tools, the same experiences, the same history. And yeah, there's a success breeds success. And I've been successful, and I'm going to continue to breed success, and I'm looking forward to the season highly. And like you said, there is potential. You can make an argument for Ferrari winning every constructors and every drivers. You can make a convincing argument. I don't necessarily think that's going to be what happens. I think it's going to be like for that to happen, it would have to be a perfect season, which is not impossible, but very hard to achieve. But the fact that you can argue. Like I had to stop myself putting Ferrari for every one of my constructors' predictions. You can make an argument for them in all divisions, and I don't really feel like any other team has that across every division.
Okay.
So yeah, I feel like it's going to be as maybe arrogant or egotistical or whatever, narcissistic, whatever word you want to put in there, whatever label you want to put on me. I feel like it's going to be a fight for P2 more than it's going to be a fight for P1 in the overall. I feel like well, I can say we now, Mr. Avinash, welcome to the team. I think we're going to pull away. Same way we did last season. I think even if we're not mid-season, I'll do the same thing I did in KRL season 4, where I fixed things up in the mid-season transfer window and came in with this. I really think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a Ferrari game again. It's Ferrari season. We're in the Ferrari era, boys. Sorry to just let them know. I'll let them know. It's right, so the camera. It's the Ferrari era. We're here, taking over.
Anyway, we've got a stacked battles all over the field, and I'm very excited to be a witness of that. We're going to be podcasting every single race, every single weekend, and I hope you join us. But the final prediction. We have one more prediction. Let's not forget the final prediction. It's the crazy prediction. What is something crazy that is going to get people talking in general and getting people to chat? What's it going to be? Do you want to say yours first, or shall I say mine?
You go yours first. I'm more interested in yours. I'm very curious.
I'm leaning forward here. My crazy prediction for Season 1 XRS. There will be a race weekend where Ferrari win every single race. All 4. They will get a 4 streak. They will win every single one. I don't know what track.
I like that.
I have an interesting and tempting feeling it's going to be Monza, but I'll keep my mouth shut because that would be amazing if it did. But I think it will be a 4 race streak. I think they'll win all 4 races in one weekend. That's my thing. What's yours?
Well, just to build on that, in Season 4 KRL, we did do Australia. We got a podium in all 5 tiers.
Yeah.
So, and I think there was 3 of those were wins. I think, or 2 of them were wins. No, 2 of them were wins. 2 of them were wins.
Yeah. I remember pretty close with the stats as well. I think it was. I want to say it was Austria. We won 3 out of 4.
Yeah.
We just missed out on 3 out of 5, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was. So we were very close, but no one's done the full 4.
I like that prediction. Sounds good to me. My crazy prediction is that I think every division will have at least 6 different race winners.
6 is crazy. That would be amazing. 6 would be mental.
I think
6 is lovely.
I think if not 6-5, but I think 6 is my push number. I think it's gonna be at least 5. I think. I think there's enough diversity in the front runners for there to be, because I think there's going to be, each division will have 3 if not 4 drivers who are the regular front runners, and then I think there's going to be enough people who are going to sneak in on their days into a cheeky win here and there. I think 6 different race winners in each division.
Yeah, That's a very good prediction. I hope that happens. I do.
Me too. It'd be great as the head admin league owner we are. I'm very much hoping that's the case because it means we've done well in steering the ship.
Yeah. We're going to close off this broadcast. Thank you very much to everyone who has checked us out, who is joining XRS, the brand new league. Our first race, Thursday, 7 GMT Tier 4, are taking to the track in Bahrain, and I really hope you can join us. I'll be there. Raven West will be there, of course, and we will see you all soon.
Be
Bye.
there. Be there. You don't want to miss this.